Hello, everyone. This is Phil Weinmeister with Seven Summits, and I want to take a few minutes and share with you some information about guest user access in Summer 20, specifically around record access. So let's go ahead and get started. Here I am in a community. I am a guest, as you can see here by the login text at the top right. And basically, I just have an account list view here in the community. If I click on accounts, I see nothing. And I notice that changed for me in Summer 20, and I want to show these accounts to a guest user. So let's talk about how to make that happen and some of the factors that are in play here. So first of all, we have to make sure that we've set guest user access properly. I'm not going to spend too much time on this, but you will go to workspaces, and then administration, pages, go to force.com and click on public access settings. This is where you will make sure that you've granted the appropriate access to accounts. So that would be down here, you can see standard object, permissions, read for accounts. So great. I've given read access and I have the tab as default hidden. So the guest user profile does, or I should say can, access if everything else is in the place. It can access that object, and field level security has been set up appropriately as well. So that's not the issue. So where do we go from here? Well, we're going to go to sharing settings. So let's go ahead and do that. Here we are on sharing settings. So we're going to check a couple things here. First, we need to make sure that the default external access is set appropriately. Here it's public read only. So we see account, public read only. So the issue is not with the default external access setting. So now we're going to get into the Summer 20 changes and what you need to be aware of. When we click on edit, we want to take a look at, you can see this without clicking at it, but we're going to take a look at it here. Secure guest user record access. Okay, that is new, and it will automatically be checked. Now you can opt out of it in Summer 20, but it will be forced on in Winter 21, which is the next release. So if I uncheck this checkbox, then and I save, let's go back here. It might take a few seconds for the sharing calculations to complete, but let's go ahead and refresh. Now my guest user can see these records. Okay, again, this is really kind of a short-term workaround. I mean, it's status quo, but you'll be forced to change from this. So if you don't want to, if you feel like it's a panic to make a quick change before Summer 20, sure, you can uncheck this. But if you want to talk about what the correct long-term approach is here, what we want to look at is actually something new, something really useful, guest sharing rules, guest user sharing rules. So we're going to recheck this, secure guest user record access. And we're going to save. Just to show, if I go back here and I go to accounts, okay, can't see those. Now we can scroll down, and here we are, account sharing rules. Let's go ahead and click new, and we'll say share accounts with guest users. Now it's for a specific community. We'll see that in a second. Under rule type, you'll notice on the right, guest user access based on criteria. Let's go ahead and check that. I'm going to skip over the criteria for a second. We'll say share with, it's the Winemunity is the community here, and read only is your only option. So if we look at criteria, this is a little interesting. I know many of you have probably done this workaround, which is you want to share everything. And there's no setting just to say, okay, no criteria, just share all. It's nice in Process Builder that exists, but here it doesn't. So, if you can filter it down, great. If you are just showing all, well, then the easiest way to do that is to select something that would always have the same value, which is probably unlikely, or you select something that would never have a certain value, which is easier. How you do this is up to you, but let's just say for now, just as a test, we'll say account name not equal to XYZ. Okay, that should be all of our accounts. None of them are named XYZ. So we create this, we click save. Recalculation will continue in the background. Great. And we'll give it a minute here. All right, that should be done. Let's go back here and let's refresh. There you go. So now the accounts are showing up. So again, you will need to do one of two things to show records to guest users in your community. One would be opt out of the secure guest user record access. Opt out meaning uncheck that, but make sure you have a plan in the next few months to do this second item, which is keep it checked and go ahead and add the appropriate guest sharing rules here in sharing settings. Okay, so that should help you out. So if you're having any issues with guest user access to records, this should tackle those problems and help you get on your way. Hope you found this useful. And if you want more, you can always check out my blog at wineforce.wordpress.com. Thanks.